Hi everyone, Carter Krishnaiyer here for the Kingfisher on Beyond the 90. Miami FC lose to Detroit City FC 2-0 at Keyworth Stadium in an afternoon matinee match in the USL Championship. It's just one of those matches where I guess everything that could go wrong went wrong for Miami FC, who were, for large portions of the match, the better team, created lots of opportunities. It's just one of those days where if the chances don't go, you know you're not going to win, right? It's just one of those days. You know you're cursed. By the 60th minute, you know you're cursed. So, windy day at Keyworth, unusually hot and humid and sticky for this time of year in Detroit. As an aside, I've been reading a lot about Detroit recently because I just wrote a book on the War of 1812, at least the Florida angle of that conflict, and now I'm trying to fill in some of the gaps in my knowledge of the rest of the conflict. And recently I've been reading about Fort Detroit and going back and forth between the Americans and the Canadians, or the British, in that war. So Detroit's been on my mind anyway. Lots of wind impacted play, I would say, in the first 45. The wind was behind Detroit City, and nonetheless, Miami FC, very well organized, took some professional fouls, some good, smart yellow cards. And there were some there was a shout for a handball for Detroit City in the 28th minute that wasn't whistled, but not a whole lot until the goal. And that was a great combination play. Sedano and Smith just playing off of one another. Dalton Knudsen doesn't clear the ball effectively, again, because of the wind. That's normally a decent clearance. And then I think react late to the give and go. So Bill Hamid left in no man's land. That's a goal. Detroit City goes into halftime 1-0. And at that point, I thought it was a little harsh still. I thought it was a very even first half. Miami FC had a few chances, but couldn't get Bonfiglio touches in the 18. I think that if there is a reason why maybe Miami FC wasn't able to get something from this match today, it was Bonfiglio not getting the touches where he needed them, when he needed them. So 1-0 at halftime. Second half, I could just go through my notes here. Chance for Miami FC, 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 chance for Miami FC. Great save. Clearance off the line, great save. Herrera, the Detroit City keeper, was in the zone, as we used to call it 30 years ago. Today, he was phenomenal for them, and a couple of really good saves from him. And I think we saw good collective defensive play, desperation defending from Detroit City. So, and then after about minute 67, where there had been a succession of saves, and Miami FC unable to take advantage of numerous set-piece opportunities, both off of free kicks and corners, the game sort of kind of fell into a more normal pattern. Miami FC has a chance in the 83rd minute. It goes just wide. Mikey Lawrence doesn't get to that ball at the far post. Maybe it was a little too much for him to get there. And again, wind aided. The ball kind of skips away from him and almost goes in, actually. But and then in the 87th minute, Mikey Lawrence is sent off. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And so down to 10 men, Diouf gets a goal in the 96th minute, I guess, right at the death. Last kick of the game. Diouf makes it 2-0. Probably should have just kept the ball in the corner. I don't like that. If I'm a coach, if I'm Danny Dichio, I don't care that he scored. I don't like that. Okay? Kill the game. Finish the game off. Don't pretend it's a training session, okay? Detroit gets away with it. Bill Hamid, again, spectacular. A number of good saves today, including on a penalty. So let's address the penalty for Detroit City, and let's address the Mikey Lawrence sending off, because officiating is continuing to be a problem in the USL Championship. And I'm not a guy that likes VAR. I'm not a guy that particularly cares for goal line technology either, honestly. But I'm seeing the case for both just based on what's happened with Miami FC this season. So the penalty that was called in the 63rd minute, 62nd minute, never a penalty, okay? My first look at it was, okay, he was taken down outside the area. Then on replay, I realized it was a dive. It was a dive, and it should have been a yellow card the other way. Bill Hamid makes a great save on the penalty. Penalty's not struck particularly well. It's struck down the middle, not struck with very much conviction. So Hamid makes the save. So the referee gets a let-off because that was a horrible call. Then in the 87th minute, Mikey Lawrence is sent off. And I have to admit, the second it happened, I saw the challenge. I thought it was scissors action. I thought a red card was coming out, and a red card did come out. Now, part of the reason I thought that is based on having been around the club last year and Mikey Lawrence's indiscipline at times. Local player from here, actually from where I'm in, Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area, went to Nova Southeastern from Miramar, local kid. We all want to see him do well. But looks like a rash scissors action challenge. Referee comes in, pulls out the red card. So I thought, yeah, that's what you get, right? He's an indisciplined player. He was last season. He's been good this season. He's been really good since getting chances this season. So, this is a regression to the mean for him. Then you see another angle, and you realize from the reverse angle, it wasn't scissors action. He was late and a little bit clumsy. It's a yellow card at most. Maybe it's just a hard foul, considering I don't think he had committed a foul yet at that point in the match. And this was a referee that was very inconsistent throughout the second half. There would be half challenges, and this was both ways, right? I think Detroit has some calls they can complain about. Although when officiating goes against Detroit City, you hear about it because their fans are the most vocal fans in the USL Championship, probably in the United States, actually, any professional club. They will let you know if the officials were bad. They will let you know. They will get angry if Ann Arbor wins in the USL League 2. You'll hear about it. Even if Detroit City's not in that competition, if Michigan Stars win in Nisa, you'll hear about it because of Detroit City fans. They're very vocal, love their fan base, love the Northern Guard supporters, love what they stand for, but they are sometimes tough to deal with if you're on the opposition side. So I know they will point out that there were a couple calls that went against them, or calls that were things that weren't called, that were probably fouls on Miami FC. That is correct. But then the other way, I think there were some other fouls. Now, for Mikey Lawrence personally, he had been fouled a couple times. No call, right? Very clear things that were called on Wednesday night against Charleston, things that are normally called when he's trying to hold up the ball and turn. Not called. The same thing with a lot of the midfield, what we saw in the midfield. Now, we know Detroit likes to play this way. This is the way they played under Trevor James. This is the way they play under Danny Dicchio. And if you get away with it, great. And maybe Miami FC's guys aren't ready for that fight, especially with the kind of strange weather conditions today. But when I saw the replay, I realized the referee may not have actually seen the challenge. Or he saw it from a distance and from either an obscured angle or the wrong angle. So Lawrence gets sent off, and then that's that, right? Miami FC can't even get the ball out of it, can't even win possession back for like 2 minutes after that. These throw-ins, they kept being caught in the corner. Really good pressing play by Detroit. Detroit knows how to take the air out of a match. So at that point, the match is over after the sending off. So again, my initial reaction is Mikey Lawrence indisciplined. I see the reverse replay. Maybe if you want to protect the referees, you shouldn't show the replays because truthfully, and again, part of it is the player's reputation. I thought first glance, okay, how dumb is that, Mikey? Why did he do that? And then you watch the reverse angle and you say, okay, that's a hard challenge. It's a foul. Maybe it's a yellow card. So just very frustrating, but it wasn't going to go Miami FC's way today. Like I said, chance. I'm not even going to go through them, right? Zarate probably had the best chance of all. Bonfilio, none of the chances fell to him, which I think is pretty significant, right? So that's the thing Detroit really did well, was deny service to him. But after the start of the half, between the start of the half and the 67th minute, so the first quarter the third quarter of the match, if you want to look at it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just counting my chart here. 7 clear chances for Miami FC, several of them on target. You got to bury one of them. And if you don't, it's just not okay.